How do I lose 50 pounds? I'm 230, brother. You know the answer to that question. Your big 230-pound ass knows the answer. Don't fucking ask me. Okay, you know you need to put that goddamn fork down.
You know, man, listen, I know how these online things usually go, okay? You're just trying to sell me something, aren't you?
Like, listen, I used to think my girl was just with me for money too. But after years of ups and downs, I've realized it's not the money. It's this humongous
Every angle. Whole sales team left. Built the SOPs, rebuilt an entire sales team. Fulfillment team ended up leaving, besides Sai, that's my guy. Fulfillment team, build new SOPs, put the people in place. Public attacks over my reputation. Boom, that happens. Boom, what's the best tactical response? Now we had the payment processing. I'm like, payment processing. I'm meeting with Yash. I'm setting up new corporations.
Shout out to fan bases.
Yeah, shout out to fan bases. But bro, like when I have these challenges, knock on wood, I've never lost.
Don't get it fucked up. There's newer course sellers, there's OGs, and then there's people like me, there's founders, right? I was the one that founded that city. Hey, am I a joke to you, man? No, seriously, am I a fucking joke to you?
So I made a contract, and I say this on podcasts, it's very extreme, but the most successful people I know are usually very extreme. I said, if I don't become a millionaire by 25, I'm killing myself. Like that was what I wrote in sand, extreme, like balls to the wall, written on a paper contract.
Well, guys, it looks like that we are back here yet again with the only character in the AMU who has more pubes on his head than on his ball sack, the pubinator himself, good old Wes Watson. And it has been quite some time since the last time we talked about this downright clown, mainly because we've been busy with people like Wes Watson, King Azole, and Andrew Tate just going absolutely crazy. But of course, we could not forget about the only goober in the AMU that combined a perm with a bowl cut. So with that being said, good old Wes Watson here has really been up to quite a few different new activities in order to try to grift and to try to fill in that spot that Wes Watson left, and has been up to a variety of shit. And since the last time we've covered him, we have naturally seen him posting different things about different podcasts that he has been a part of. And we have managed to see clips like this one right here, where we got the lore of what inspired him to become the dipshit alpha male that he is today. And it was apparently because he had envisioned himself getting some chocolate peanuts from his mother, and it actually happened, so that therefore inspired him to do all of the stupid shit that he has been constantly doing.
I remember my mom took me to go visit my aunt or something. And my aunt puts this movie on called The Secret. And it talks about the secret, and it talks about how attention itself and consciousness actually can create the results you want in life. And it said, start with something small. It was Bob Proctor talking in the clip.
Uncle Bob.
Yeah. And it was like, start with something small. I was like, what do I have that's small? What do I want? I was like, my mom hasn't brought home like snacks in a while. My mom hasn't brought home the M&Ms. And I started imagining tasting an M&M. And I started imagining my mom coming home and being like, Vincent, there's a surprise for you. And then 30 minutes later, not even at a day I would expect her to go grocery shopping or any of this, she's like, Vincent, I brought home peanut M&Ms. You're going to love this. Come get the groceries. I was like, what the hell? And I'm tasting this M&M, and it felt like deja vu. It felt like I had already done this in my mind. And that's when I went crazy with it. I was like, I'm going to the Rolls Royce dealership now. I'm looking at all the nicest spots. In Arizona, there's these houses that are mountainside. And I'm going to these $7 million mansions. I had my mom's beat up van at the time, and I'd pull up to these places, and they go, kid, like, where are your parents? I was like, I'm here to buy this.
And I have no fucking idea why this goober that is hosting the podcast was sitting there nodding like a good boy locked the hell in, like he was hearing some next level wisdom or some shit. But it has to be some of the goofiest shit I ever heard to know that the Wes Watson storyline began because this guy wanted some fucking peanut M&Ms and his mom happened to bring home M&Ms. And after that, he thought he could envision and do everything. And it seems like he's still out here imagining shit considering his cars got repoed. So the whole imagining things just never ended. And this is not the only revelation or lore drop that we got from the pubester here during his little podcast clips, because along with this, he's also out here just making up shit, talking about how palm readers and other different future-telling little professions, I guess you could say, were claiming that he was going to be a life coach one day and he would be helping people. And it's the biggest load of horse shit that I think I've ever seen. And again, the podcast host is locked the hell in, acting acting like the shit he's saying is somewhat realistic or even makes sense.
I've had certain, I don't know, astrologists, sign readers. My mom would pay for these people for me and they'd read who I was supposed to be. And they said, your goal is to uplift the less fortunate people in life, right? That's what they tell me. And I was like, what does that even mean? I'm 16 years old, I'm skinny as shit. Like they told me I'd be a life coach. It sounded boring. I was like, what is a life coach? I'm like, what does that even mean? Coach, gym coach? Like,
and yeah, it is obviously just a load of even more horse shit, where it wouldn't even work out for him if he wasn't paying the host who was interviewing him to do so, because anybody else who has integrity is pushing back on this clown as he's just spewing horse shit. But aside from the podcast clips, he's also been up to a couple of other just different goofy-ass activities, like trying to respond to the supposed haters that are calling him out for never doing a leg day, and he felt the need to go on this little speech right here in order to do so.
So boys, first and last leg day complete for the year. You know, it was a great workout. You know, we started off strong, loaded up 2 plates, focused on form. And, you know, in between the first and the second set, I reached down to grab my water bottle. And, you know, the muscle that attaches the leg to the crotch area was just spazzing out a bit. So, you know, I'm going to stick to what I normally do best, and that's hip thrust in the bedroom. But outside of that, you know, rest and recovery is also important. So great work this year. You know, 2027 will come at him hard.
And the leg day thing isn't the only thing he's felt the need to respond about. And for this next one, he even broke out his very goofy looking suit that is about 3 sizes too small, where he tried to explain that his girl isn't a gold digger and he just has everything else and that's why she's with him, when in reality it just looks like he's in denial. And it seems that those comments must have got to him and made him feel some type of way.
So I have people all the time that tell me, Vince, your girl's only with you for the money and this, that. And, you know, I want you guys to understand, when you take away the 99% of girls that are hoes and have slept with 50 men, and you take the small percentage of good girls, they don't think in terms of how much money a person has. They think in terms of how does that person make them feel, and what's the percentage chance that that person is going to get them to the life that they want. You know, you see this internet portrayal that like, oh, you know, girls meet at the finish line. No, hoes meet at the finish line. A good girl genuinely wants to find a dude around her age. I'm not saying the exact age, but around her age. And she genuinely wants to build a future with them. I know you've been lied to. I know you've been brainwashed, but this is how it works. Like, listen, I used to think my girl was just with me for money too. But after years of you know, ups and downs, I've realized it's not the money. It's this humongous...
And we're just gonna stop this goofy ass right there. But as you can tell, it's all just been stupid enough in its own, with just the constant horse shit he's spewing, along with him getting butthurt, and then trying to make these different little responses to shit. But on top of this, he has found a new little unique way for him to grift that we haven't seen before, where he basically created this character with a filter, and goes on some little tangent about being a Target worker or some shit, and then tries to flip around and instantly use it to try to get people to sign up with his new little architect program.
You know, man, listen, I know how these online things usually go, okay? You're just trying to sell me something, aren't you? Yeah? I'm well off, okay? I make $2,000 to $3,000 a month at Target. After tax, okay? I'm the supervisor. You can't fucking fool me, man. Do I make enough to retire my mom? Absolutely not. She fucking breaks her back. But I don't care about that. What I care about is my comfort, my safety, and I'm not going to be rushed. Let me ask you an honest question, okay? If you were really rich, then why do you charge? Do you need the money?
Well, I mean, listen, you work at Target, right? Is Target free or do you pay?
Well, Target's a store, and that's why they charge.
Yeah, man, and this is an online store, bro.
No, I get that you have a store, but I'm saying, like, oh, man, I heard Floyd Mayweather's going broke. He had to fucking sell his jet. That's what happens when you walk around like you're the shit. Hello?
Where's the fucking rent, man?
I told you by next month.
Boys, don't you get it? This is the exact mentality that's kept you poor this entire time. They say winners see opportunity in every problem and losers see problem with every opportunity. You could give a broke-minded person every fucking way out. And they go, yeah, well, you know, what if this goes wrong? And what if that goes wrong? And, you know, I see how this works. And the way that I think, maybe you need to stop fucking thinking so we can start getting results.
And that right there at the end is really exactly what he wants, which is you to just stop fucking thinking and stop thinking about the fact that he's probably trying to scam you, but instead just give him your money and shut up. And as I'm sure you can tell, he's starting to get pretty damn desperate to make this little architect thing work, where he's now trying these new different little bullshit techniques to try to get attention. And this isn't where it ended, because he's also been trying to add day trading to the architect program, because I guess he's been dabbling in it a bit, and has been using that as well to try to push his little coaching courses.
Now, boys, you guys know me. I used to be the biggest day trading hater. I was like, you can't click buttons on a screen and get rich. You need actual skills, actual income, which there's some truth to. But I did a podcast with a friend a few months ago who pulled me aside after and proceeded to show me a portfolio with more money than I could comprehend. Guy in his early 20s, millions of dollars, okay? And I was like, there's no way this shit's real, bro. He's like, Vince, load up an account with some money you're gonna blow anyway, and I'll show you it's real. After a few months, I kid you not, the money in that account 8x'd, like 8 times in 3 months. And I was like, bro, we need to teach this. He's like, Vince, I want you to be the face. I was like, I can't be the face. I'm not the trading dude. I'm the fitness dude. I was like, what I can do though is I'll add you to my group and you teach the strategy that's made you millions. He's like, all right, I'll run that. So guys, Architect Army now has a trading section. There's a 7-day free trial now. Once you get inside, I'm gonna show you how to market. I'm gonna show you how to sell. I'm gonna show you how to get in shape. And now I'm gonna show you how to multiply the money that you make.
And the only reason I can think of that he would be doing this is because a lot of people aren't buying into his bullshit anymore. And most people are aware of the online fitness guru horseshit scam that a lot of these guys are running. So now he had to add something to it and even had to do a free trial for it. So naturally, he went to day trading, which he talked shit about for years. So this guy just can't stop going back on things he's been saying and is looking for any outlet to get more revenue coming in so that he can get back his cars that ended up getting repoed. And even though he's been just so desperate and he's been changing everything up to try to get more money flow going, it still hasn't stopped his ego, which has been running strong as hell. And we have still been seeing moments like this right here, where he's trying to claim that he's the one who started the movement of people moving to Brickell, Miami, which is where a lot of these clowns hang around. And he is the founder of it, and everybody else following suit were created by him.
So is it worth moving to Brickell or is it all hype? Now, a lot of people don't know this. I created the Brickell scene in what it is now. I was the first young nigga in that city driving my drop top Lambo that my head was over the roof in. And there wasn't really LARPing. There wasn't any of that shit. It was just me. I had a fucking Huracan. I had a Don. I'd take them out every morning, and it was literally like families and people walking their dogs. I swear to God. I've now moved a few blocks out of Brickell, and it's crazy out there. There's like a bunch of young niggas with Lambos and shit like that, and I think it's great, but I think it is becoming a bit oversaturated, right? I don't think it's what it once was. When I came in, it was a straight away like, listen, you know what I'm saying? But now it's crazy, man. It's crazy. Don't get it fucked up. You know, there's newer course sellers, there's OGs, and then there's people like me, there's founders, right? I was the one that founded that city. There was no streamers running through it. There was no, 10 people deep selling courses, none of that shit. Okay, I created you, nigga. Nigga, I created you. That's what I think every time I drive through that city. And some of your guys' favorite influencers out there, I mean, 3 years ago, I'd be driving in my Don. They'd be like, yo, Vince, bro, I just moved here. I watched your videos. I was like, yo, jump in, man. Jump in. I'll take you around. They were like, yo, those little niggas are running shit now. You know what I mean?
So yeah, this goober still feels as entitled as ever, and he's still trying to pretend like he's just the shit, even though he's been exposed for just about everything in the book. And even though he's practically begging people to sign on to his new courses, he's still out here acting as if he's just on top of the world. And I have a feeling it's just going to continue to get goofier as he just keeps getting more and more desperate, and we're going to continue to see him just doing and saying stupid shit. But with that said, if you enjoyed, please drop a sub and a like, and join the Saints Mafia, where we are flaming all of these grifting dipshits. And I'm out. Watching Wes Watson continue to look like a goober. And peace.
Now, I get a lot of you guys asking, Vince, did you pivot out of online coaching? Fuck no. Okay, I still spend tens of thousands on ads. I still make tens of thousands some days. But I created this group as a lower tier because I had a lot of you guys coming to me going like, Vince, listen, I don't have the money to invest yet. I'm under 18. I'm not in the best shape. So cool, start here. I'll give you a free trial. And once you build yourself, once you make a little bit of money, you know where the big money's at, okay? Now, as I've made this group, I realize I have a lot of rich friends. And, they call me every single day. We chop it up. And I'm like, motherfucker, I want your knowledge, my group. You became a millionaire through trading, your drop shipping, your car rentals, your knowledge, my group. And if this pops off, which it looks like there's somebody joining every few minutes, then we're just going to fucking take over the entire info coaching scene. Okay, so boys, we're building a fucking movement. We're building an army, and you don't want to miss out on this.